Alright, we're back with another episode of the 8088 PC project. Um, Last time, if you remember, we left off, we just had the right angle header connectors left to solder on, which I got in the mail today. And we were waiting on the video card, which I also got today. Both of them, I think, came earlier than what they originally said. I think both of them were supposed to come in July, which I don't know when this is being posted, but today is June 13th, so it was supposed to be a far way off until it came, but it's here now. So, off camera, I soldered the rest of the ISA slots, and I tried my best to clear up, since I was messing around with trying to make my own right angle connectors. I messed this up and had to take them back out, but now there's solder filling the holes, so I tried to clear that up as much as possible off camera, but I only have a solder wick. I don't have a desoldering iron, so I can't suck the solder out. So my plan is just to hope I can push this in and solder at the same time. Which I think is going to be very difficult. Maybe I can poke one of these extra pins here into the hole and get the solder out that way. Seemed like that helped. It helped. Doesn't seem like it's cleared up though. That might be close enough. I think I might try just flooding this. It's probably a bad idea, but That way I can heat it up all at the same time, or at least try to. Get warm. I'm gonna have to wait for this to cool a little bit. I guess while we're waiting for that to cool, I could solder on the power header here, just in case I want to use that in the future. Alright, we have the power header on there. Now I just have to do this right here. Alright, the pins aren't sticking through, but I've been messing around with this for pretty long, so it seems like it's all connected to the top pads at least, and there's solder that probably goes all the way through, so, and none of them are shorted out from what I can tell, so I'm just gonna just leave it like that, and hopefully maybe it'll work. If not, I can come back another day and fix that. But I think we can give this a boot test. Got to make sure this is where the ISA, like the bracket, would go. So that has to face out. Little solder blob fell in the ISA slot there. And put the CPU board in. And I got the video card over by the setup, so I'll go ahead and actually we'll get this CH376 out and plugged in. I don't have a boot disk yet, so we're just gonna see if this will boot into the BIOS first. So yeah, I got a power supply and monitor, keyboard, and the video card all out at the setup. So I'll go ahead and switch over there. Alright, here we are at the desk. Got the computer here. This is the power supply that I'm going to be using. bottom is very dusty. This is my just test power supply that I have lying around. I upgraded my power supply on my computer, so I have an extra one. We're not going to need any of these cables. Make sure this is switched off. And it looks like it is. And I'm going to plug the motherboard in. Alright, there we go. There's that plugged in. And I have the video card I bought over here. It is in this anti-static bag. They sent me the wrong card. I wouldn't even be able to use this in here. Yeah. This is some kind of network card or something. This is not what I ordered. So I guess that means that's it for today. It's unfortunate. I'm just going to double check that it's not anywhere else in here. Yep. That's what they sent. They did not send the correct card, so I guess that's it for today. Maybe I'll combine when I get the actual video card into this part or not. I'm not sure. Depends on how much video I have for this episode. So, well, we tried. Maybe I'll get a replacement next week. Well, thanks for watching. Alright, it's been almost 2 weeks. Got a refund from the seller, and was able to get the actual card, at least I hope, from the seller. So, here's the box we got. Time to open it up. This seller has very quick shipping. The only thing was that he got it wrong, but he got the product wrong. But I think it was like 2-day shipping from this guy. I think he's in New York. So, very quick shipping, you know. But Let's see, did we get the correct card? Must be in this bag here. Looks like it's in some anti-static, or at least I think it might be anti-static bubble wrap. There we are. It's at least the correct size. That looks like it has a VGA port on the back. I believe he said this was tested and working, so we should be fine. A little bit of oxidation on the back, but you know, it's a 20-30-year-old card, so there it is. Trident. It should be, yep, 9000B. So, okay, it looks like this is already set how I need it set for the computer. From what I saw, you needed to set all of the jumpers to on so that it would boot in 8-bit mode. So, alright. Nice and dusty though. Ah, let's move over to the computer. Also, while I was waiting, I made this USB stick that supposedly has MS-DOS on it. I don't know if I did it correctly, because I tried to put that into a virtual machine and boot it, and it didn't boot. But who knows? So here we are. We have the power supply already plugged in. I'm going to first take these cards out and turn on the system without the cards in, just to make sure nothing blows up, because, you know, I soldered all this together myself, so. Gotta turn on the power supply first. And now, we have to turn on that switch. The light's on. I don't smell any smoke, so that's good. Now, we'll turn it off and plug in all the cards. Now, I don't have any slot covers on these, so I'm just going to have to make sure these screw holes are facing out. Also, while I was waiting for the video card, I bought all of the parts for a DMA card. So I have all the chips and all the resistors and stuff that I need for that here. Well, this is not all of it, but this is the extra chips I had to order. But then I'll be able to plug in like a floppy drive or something. I think there's other stuff you can plug into. I think this platform is a little bit too old to be able to plug in something like a CD-ROM drive, but that's caught on there. Now we just gotta plug this in, and plug it into this slot. The slot cover is going to cause it to sit up off the table, but yep, I don't have a case or anything for this, so it's just going to have to sit on the table. And here's my keyboard. keyboard is probably from the right era to go with this computer. This is an AT&T keyboard. I didn't even know AT&T ever made keyboards. Doesn't seem to have a date code or anything on it, but I know it's fairly old. It's probably from the 80s or 90s. So, here we are. Now, gotta make sure this is all the way in. And I guess it's time to power it up. Well, I gotta plug the USB stick in yet. The only thing I'm not quite sure on with this is the USB stick, because I didn't quite get that all the way through the board because of those plugged solder holes. Yeah. So, don't know about that. But hopefully, if that's not all the way in, I checked, it doesn't, none of the connections are bridged. So I shouldn't have any issues with that, but I guess it's time. Here we go. If that doesn't work, the USB hard drive, we should have at least it should at least boot to the BIOS. So fingers crossed. Power supply turned on. Oh. Is the light on? The light's not on. It appears the button I have is not quite connected that well, because I have to hold on it for it to go. So I'll take this off, and I guess I'll show you. There's in. Maybe it's gonna work this time. Light's still on. I would think something would already be on the screen by now. Make sure the VGA cable's plugged in all the way. No signal. Okay. I'm going to double check that the VGA card, just make sure this isn't plugged in all the way. I'm going to make sure the VGA card's set to the right mode real quick, and then I'll be back. Took me a little while to troubleshoot. I found some dirt in one of these chips, so I took it out, and when I was doing that, where is it? You see there? It appears there's, 5 pins not soldered on. So that would be our issue, and also there's a few connections bridged here. Luckily I didn't smell any smoke, but I got lucky, I guess. Oh, and that burn mark is not from turning the computer on, that was on when I was soldering it. So I even flashed a new BIOS. There was a new version that the guy put on the GitHub. So, and yeah, so I'm just gonna double check over some of these solder joints while I solder those pins. I'll be back. Alright, I got those pins soldered on, and I double checked both of these boards, all the solder connections on them, and I did find a few other ones that were a little lacking on the solder, so also cleared up the bridge connections, and I double checked the back plane too while I was plugging these in. So didn't notice anything on the back plane, so hopefully second attempt here we'll get a working computer. Let's see. No luck so far. The light's on, but the light was on last time. I've also messed around with the jumpers on this video card. It's a 16-bit ISA video card, but it can run in 8-bit mode. I'm pretty sure I bought the correct one, because it's a TVGA 9000B. So it should be able to work in 8-bit mode, and from what I could tell, to get it to work in 8-bit mode you had to turn on all the jumpers, which they were already all on when I got it. So I also messed around with just taking them off and putting them on. That didn't work. I'm pretty sure I got all of those solder joints. I don't know where to go from here. I have sent a message in the 8088 PC Project Discord, but I have not gotten an answer back yet. Probably won't get an answer for a little bit, but I think I heard that there was a version, a BIOS I could flash that would beep the PC speaker if everything was working correctly. Because as of now, the BIOS for this requires a working video card for the system to work. So I'm going to see if I can find some other BIOS that'll at least beep the PC speaker or something to let me know that a majority of the system's working. Because I don't know where to go from here. Because I don't know if the system's working. I don't know if it's just the video card or if it's what I've soldered together. So I will I'll see if I can find that BIOS. I don't know if it exists or not, but I don't know. I'll come back when I have something else to say. Alright, I've plugged the card into my Pentium 3 machine here. It's down there. And we're gonna see if it boots up. I tried this once off camera, and it looked like it came up. It's just, I don't know if this motherboard might be, yeah, you can see there it went. I think this motherboard is just set to use the AGP card, which I have a, I think it's a Voodoo 3 for this computer. but I don't have it plugged in. I would think that it would fail safe back, but I guess not. So at least we know that works. Don't know if it works in 8-bit mode, but should be able to verify that that is the correct card. Yeah, you can hear the computer booting up in the background. So I'm going to double check that it's the correct card. It had the right chip on it, but for some reason on the back side of the PCB it said something about 9000A. So I'm going to have to double check. Alright, it's a couple days later, and I had to do some troubleshooting and stuff. It took a little while. I found some solder connections that weren't all the way soldered, and I found some bridge connections. But when I tested it, after I fixed those problems, hold on, my power switch is a little temperamental. Yeah, move. You can see there, it's booting up, or at least it's trying to. It detected my USB drive, and now it's counting the RAM. And then nothing, but at least it's progress. So we got to a point where my video card's working. It boots to the BIOS. The CH376 wasn't turning on before, and now it's actually turned on, and it detected my USB drive. So next step will be making sure that my USB drive is bootable, because I tried to get DOS on here, but I had an issue. It seemed like it went on, but when I tried to boot it up in a virtual machine, it did not boot. So I'm going to have to see what I can do to get this USB drive to boot, but we got a flashing cursor. That's at least progress. So hopefully in the next clip I will have figured out DOS, and I'll be back when I do. Alright. I got it to boot before off camera, so hopefully it'll boot for you guys on camera. I also attempted to copy over Checkit, so we'll see if that works. Starting MS-DOS. I think it's just complaining about high memory, because it loads high memory here, but there's only 512K, so let's see. Oh no. Oh, I see. I unplugged my PS2 keyboard, so I gotta plug that back in. Probably have to reboot for that, and the light went out. I doubt this will work without having to reboot, but we can try it. Ah, it works. So there we go. I downloaded 2 different versions of Checkit. Hopefully one of them will work. I tried to run the first version here that's just called check, that I put in a check directory. And it was complaining in a virtual machine, so we'll see. Maybe this will work. It might be expecting, because I just copied this off of a floppy disk, it might be expecting it to be coming off of an A drive, or it might expect me to change disks in the middle, which I only have the one disk, so hopefully I'll be able to override that. But we have a progress bar, so that's good. Ooh. Alright, yeah, it aborted the installation here, so we'll go ahead and check out the other version. Hopefully I can just check it. You can see it's the archive.org version. I don't know, they must have modified the code. And it's in German. Yeah, I can't tell what that's trying to say. I have absolutely no idea. We'll test CPU. Hey, there's something. I recognize the screen. Alright. It does detect a V20 at 8 megahertz, and that's what this is running. And I guess it's using a IBM XT at 2 megahertz? I don't know. I can't tell what it's trying to say there, but it's faster than it. So there's that. After all this time, the machine works, which is great. Because I think I started the project, I at least started planning for the project in April. And I know this is going to come out later. But today's date is June 27th, so this will probably be coming out late July, I would assume, or maybe even later, who knows. But only 2 months from the planning stage to all the way built. I've never taken on a project this big before, so pretty proud of it. Well, there's that. I'll probably do some more videos in the future with this. Maybe get it into a case and upgrade it some more with like a network card and maybe a floppy drive or something. I already have parts on the way for a DMA controller. You probably saw that at the beginning of the video. I have the chips over here. This has the extra logic chips that I need. When I was buying parts from Mouser, I bought as many as I could for the DMA controller. These are the actual chips for the DMA controller. And then in this one is it turned off. The other logic chips that I had not bought that weren't available on Mouser, so I didn't buy them. Another thing that I have to work on is maybe I have to replace this power switch because it's very unreliable. I just tapped it there and it turned back on. So, well, we've got the machine working, and next step will be upgrades. So, I'll see you then.